So yeah, prepare for some feels. So the thing you want to do with this guy is get him moving. So much so. Oh, come on. Ah. There we go. That is pants fall off. Good. And
oh, you shoot him shoot him in the junk? What? That's awful.
Also, it doesn't work on bosses, in case you're curious about that, like, special ability. I guess he doesn't really technically have a Heaven Smile weak point. And that's that. So, just get ready for feels. I love this music. At least you dropped the golden gun. Oh, okay. Well, let's...
Is it only Coyote? Barely even see what's happening. Oh. No, it's fine. It's fine. Whatever's happening is fine. Oh, I remember this.
Okay. Alright, well,
Coyote can handle this.
let's just pick that. Coyote can't. Okay, alright.
I like the double meaning, possibly, from the way that they word that.
Okay.
Dang, why did you kill us? How... Did you save in a while?
No, I haven't saved since we started here, but... Alright, so let's get... Kevin doesn't use guns, but maybe Kevin can't handle this okay. Maybe his weak point up there. What's going on? Right. Okay. Coyote?
Oh man, when Kevin dies, he just like curls up into a ball.
And then he like moves around a little. Well, Coyote uses a gun like this, so.
What?
Okay. Which one's faster? I feel like the other one is definitely faster. Yeah, for sure.
All these level 5 skills are useless, dude.
Well, at least we'll have Khan.
Yeah, go small.
Khan can't handle this. Cool.
Whoa.
Oh my god!
Is that how fast he shoots?
Oh my god!
That's crazy.
Khan level 5 is god tier.
Well, you have Master Smith left. You should do the 10 vial shot.
Oh yeah, I wonder if I can even use vials here. Mass can't handle this. Okay. See ya.
Wow. It's over. Master Smith to the rescue.
What? Ah!
What a weird death cry. Well, game over. See you later, folks. What?
Oh!
Yoink.
Okay, golden gun retrieved. Well, that's something. Okay, oh.
Spencer did it. What's that noise? Oh, God.
We had to take out Greg Nightmare. And then we leave.
Oh, that camera angle.
And that Feel One Note Killer 7. That always gives me the feels, because I'm like, Dan, no! And then everyone else, I'm like, oh yeah, other characters.
But... Okay, you just go back here.
I think it's an excuse to let you save, and I guess just in case. We did literally have a power outage earlier, so just in case. Is Hardman in here? He is. Interesting. Hello, Steward. Thanks for literally doing your job.
It's still so weird that they killed off that girl. I understand, like, the plot significance, but it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, trust me, when I was replaying, I did not remember that. I think you can't go to the Forbidden Room. I think all you can do here is just leave. Yeah. Okay. So a lot more will be explained at that hotel in Philadelphia.
Home represent. Ye Philly boys, we love Philly.
Cheesesteaks. Traffic.
The Phillies.
Everyone being mad at each other all the time.
Wait, what's our hockey team called?
The Flyers.
Flyers. I was gonna say Flyers, but I was like, that doesn't sound right. It sounds stupid.
Go Sixes. Go Flyers.
The final quarter. It should be number 420. That'd be epic for the win.
Suda, you missed out.
Ah, I hope you had a pleasant day, sir. Enjoy your stay.
Okay.
So our goal in this one is every place we got a soul shell in last one, so aka in every place we're gonna find a blood stain. This, by the way, is Kevin. It took me a little while to figure that one out because it like didn't specifically look like him. But when we see him with sunglasses, so... There are, I mean, this is probably not a spoiler because you'll figure it out right away. There are no Heaven Smile here, which is very nice. Essentially, it's just, a way for you to slowly unravel, some more story. And to see these color gradients.
Do you still have the golden gun? Yeah.
I do. Yeah, so as you'll notice, all the places I got the soul shells are the exact area these bloodstains would be.
Hey, Con.
Yeah, I forget if it was specifically mentioned last part, but the Killer 7 were all apparently killed in this hotel. Which, the only thing that confuses me is they made a really big plot point to say that Curtis Blackburn, the white-haired guy that we did the... Remember, like, the pigeon fight? Like, specifically went out of the way to say that Curtis Blackburn killed Dan. Which, that part confuses me a little bit, because it's like, well, how... What?
Do they show Dan being killed here? Well, I guess we'll see.
This color. Garcia in this color. I like the ones that are super far away. It's just like, yep. Let's go in a room.
Yeah, this is as far away as possible.
306, baby. Okay.
Kaede, I'm gonna guess.
Nope. It's like the last one you would guess.
Oh. F.
Yeah, every time we get to one, you guess what they are. So far we've seen Kevin, Khan, and Mask. So we still have Dan, Kaede, Coyote. Yeah. Yeah, Dan, Kaede, and Coyote. Let's see. I think next one's the 4th floor. floor. The 5th floor is my favorite in terms of color, but they're all so nice.
I like this one.
Yeah, this one's pleasing. Yeah, the 5th floor definitely is like pops at you, but that could definitely be taken a bad way. Okay.
Coyote.
This is the worst one.
No.
Rip.
Yeah, that's terrible.
F.
And like Coyote seemed like she was just completely a normal girl.
I mean, all of them were assassins. Like, they were all, like, killers and stuff. I mean, that's the whole point. They were, like... Very early on in the game when you were, like, getting the letters from Johnny Gagnon, it was like, hey, let me tell you about these guys. They're real crazy, but they work for, you know... They're, like, assassins and blah, blah, blah. So, like...
Oh, can you actually do me a favor? Can you go back to that door? The Coyote Death door. Look at how tall... Wait, turn around. Oh, you can barely see it. But Garcian is like literally taller than the door. He's just that tall.
I guess. You're right, though. Or maybe that perspective's weird. No.
Like,
Yeah.
He's pretty... Yeah, the perspective's a
The
little
perspective
weird,
was weird there.
but also, like, he was like an inch away from clearance.
I've said this before. We didn't get to see him in this run too much, but, like... Compared to anyone else, when you're like looking down, like you're looking down on the smiles. Which, by the way, you do have to reload. Good to know.
What do they call these opposing colors choices? Like the blue and the orange.
God tier.
It's like I don't want to say composite. It's something else.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Hey, it's Mills. So yeah, that school is like the epicenter for like literally everything in politics. The school we were at. That. I forget if they said it last time, but like I think they said that literally every U.S. president was at one point the principal of that one school. Did they say that last time? Which is like hard to believe, but it was also one of those things. But yeah, that is something they mentioned.
Coyote.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, does he literally have only his underwear on?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Smart.
I thought he was going to shoot him through the wall.
Oh, yeah, that'd be something. F. Sorry, Coyote. Okay, we just got one more. I'm gonna be looking away, lads.
The main man himself.
Yeah, it's so obvious that Dan's the main character. Even in the following cutscene, you're like, what?
Yeah, they just give him... It's like Dan at top, large power gap, mask dismissed.
Yeah.
And then everyone else.
Pretty much. I would say Khan is the least of all of them, just because you also rarely ever use his special powers.
Yeah.
And then I would say it's Kevin, then probably Kaede, and then probably Coyote, because you actually use Coyote's special abilities a lot.
So was Kevin, even though he was an employee here, also just an assassin?
Yeah.
The one they call the Bloody Heartland. You here to kill the Smiths, is that it? Rule of thumb, don't set your goals too high. What do you want? Who do you want, huh? You.
Dang.
Dan! But yeah, even for that, like, Dan literally gets... Yeah, so, as they just showed, Garcian was the one who went through and killed all the Killer 7, which is a pretty big thing to learn, but there's some bigger things we're gonna learn in like just a second. So he hunted them all down, and they all got their own. You know what? Just in case, I'm gonna safety save. Because I honestly don't know when the next... I mean, there's not much left in the game, but there's some hard spots, and I don't know when the next one is. Alright. So yeah, let's meet these people. These two guys. Oh, hey, Mills.
Are they gonna go into that girl that replaced this guy?
I don't believe so.
It's random.
Yeah, I think it's just them being like... I guess they wanted to show you that everything goes deeper than you think, you know? And that's like... Or like how easily replaceable everyone is. It's just like, hey, this guy's like the main character for giving you like information. He's gone. I'm the new person now. And it's like... I think that's what they were going for.
Makes sense to me.
I think they do it a lot like Animal Crossing Banjo-Kazooie, where sometimes they'll say a line but say similar words, if that makes sense. Where it's like, I'm not sure what to do. He said, I don't understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who knows?
It's pretty
I think
cool.
I think it's interesting to leave it in the way that we don't really understand how it works, and it makes it cooler that way.
See ya, Mills. We appreciate you. And here it is.
Room.
Epic room.
Naturally, I found myself being led to this place.
Long journey, but it ends here, Garcian. No, I think it's time I call you by your real name, Emir Parkreiner.
Boom.
Emir.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name's Harmon Smith. I'm the
Boom.
man you saw in your past. Do you remember the incident where 6 people were murdered in this hotel? You must have seen it yourself. Because you were the killer. The assassin, Emir Parkreiner. was the ace of aces. Who would have thought the killer was a mere 13-year-old? It was a deliberate crime targeted toward the Smith Alliance. It consisted of 7 members, but the leader wasn't included in the 7. Later investigations found his dead body inside a safe of a school. The investigative unit called them the Killer 7. But the whole affair was never made public, not because this was an aberration from society, but because it involved national security issues. Unfortunately, a curse brought upon you by old traditions. You, Amir, are an assassin controlled by the government. Someone is watching your every move. From the second when I first took you in on the roof. You were one of the very few assassins with class, but you were out of control. Still, there was something venerable about you. Then it occurred to me, you were no longer a mortal being. Within you, ever so quietly, evil had opened its eyes.
So, that phrase, took you in on the roof, is very important. And very specific. And we'll find out, this is one of the things that this game does not explain at all, besides giving you, like, very... Oh, yeah, I have to go to the... Very minor hints about it, but keep in mind that phrase as we do the next scene, took you in on the roof. So, we're at the roof. Forget if something's...
God, my eyes. Forbidden room.
What took you so long?
Nice view, isn't it?
It's different. Time here is warped.
To finish this game peacefully is my last wish.
Guess that won't happen. We've been interrupted again.
Has another come to surface?
A sight for sore eyes.
Haven't seen you around for a long time.
Come in.
Please.
Are they okay?
They're fine. Let's go back in that room. Oh, we can't? And I like how now the game just, like, goes straight. So, yeah. Roof. What is the...
Your 13-year-old self. Shoot his metal eye?
Yeah, I was trying to.
Were you?
On the 6th shot. So when they said, beware the 3-eyed monster, it was Amir. And also, remember that part where he, was bleeding from his forehead? That was from the eye. And also...
No, it wasn't me. It can't be. It's all a misunderstanding.
All the different weapons. He was the Killer 7 the whole time, as they kind of allude to. So, the most important phrase that Harmon said in that room was, when I took you in on the roof. Harmon has, from the best that I can tell, it's not necessarily split personality thing, but it's essentially a split personality where he can draw in, like, souls or beings of people. So when he says took you on the roof, he means, like, literally, like, took his, like, soul or whatever from the roof after he killed himself, which is why he was able to do you know, the other of the Killer 7 as well. There is an epilogue that we'll be doing in a second, so I don't want to explain everything too far. But, yeah, so Garcian was Ymir. I'm not sure about the timeline. I'm a little confused on that. Like, if the 1940 to 1950, which also was less than 10 years anyway, we figured that out, and then they said he was a 13-year-old boy. I'm not sure if that was just a fabricated date, or if, like, because they're, like, dead or whatever, like, time doesn't matter. Because clearly, like, this game takes place in the present day-ish, you know, 2000s, whatever. So, it would make sense if Harmon was, like, I don't know, 20, 30 years old in the 50s, for him to be, you know, that old now. But that also means that all the Killer 7 were, like, around in, like, 1952. So I'm a bit confused about that. I think their general thing is that it doesn't, like, really matter. I'm leaning towards the fact that just because they're all, like, essentially just, like, spirits, that, it doesn't super matter. But we're gonna find out a little bit more in a second. Because if it ended with that, I'd be like, dang. I'd be like, that's a pretty big reveal, but I feel a little, you know, still a little bit more to go. But there is, luckily, so. So Smile is complete. We have one more thing to do. Alright, check this out. Because of all the grinding. Yeah, buddy. 600.
You should have set it up so it's exactly 666.
Rip. Sure, let's go 40 more. Yeah, the end. So that's it. That's it. It's all over. Nothing left. But wait, there's more. Yes, I didn't realize that they give you that opportunity, so yes. Because this next part is hard as... It's not long at all, but boy is it hard.
Oh, God.
So I like this. Smile. It was like literally just a heaven smile, because there wasn't necessarily...
The American flag, probably.
It's either the American or Japanese flag. Alright.
Or the UN flag.
That could be that too. There's no color in it anymore. What does it mean? I don't know. That I don't. But yeah, if you remember, we gave away the Vision Ring last time, which is kind of an important thing. And now we're on Battleship Isle, which I believe is a Japanese, like off the coast of Japan. North Pacific, yeah.
Man, so you just had to do this completely blind.
Showdown!
3 later years. What does it mean?
Got him. So yeah, this is, from what I understand, a like a military base kind of thing.
That's my card, by the way.
Yeah, Garcian's just god tier.
Oh. Did he have, like, shining green eyes? Oh, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, so this is hard. You have about 5 hits and no blood, so... Oh, hi. Cool. They didn't even make a noise, which they should.
It, like, made a noise, like, 2 seconds before you got stopped. Okay, so at least you can kind of see it.
There's another one. No?
There it is. Aim, yeah, a little bit up. it's to the right.
Yeah, this is so hard.
Oh, it's to the right.
Is it?
A little bit to the left. There's another one. It's right in front of you.
Ah, yeah, I saw it. So this is not going well. God dang it.
Well, at least you saw that.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you...
One in front of you. Oh, what was that camera angle?
Dude! At this point, I might as well just die, but I'll just try. It's essentially only 2 rooms. But...
You mean 2 more rooms or just this room?
2 rooms overall, yeah. But the last room has like 1 million in it, so... We might see our first game over because this part is just... Like I said, it's like 5 minutes long, but it's just completely unfair. I think I'm on my last hit, too, so you might have 4 hits.
Oh, his eyes are normal now? Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, he also has that black suit on, baby. So they're like, they're literally everywhere here. I hate this so much.
Yeah, I wish I could help you. Oh god. Yeah, definitely to the right. It looked like it was immediately in front of you. Oh god. Yeah, right there.
I'm so boned.
Oh.
That's it. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, that's so hard.
This is so hard. So my goal is to get... if I can get through the first room with, like, say, 1 hit, that'd be absolutely great. Alright. Fine. Yeah, I'm not sure, like, what the secret is for this.
You turn into Kevin and just phase through everything.
Yeah. Too bad. They're all gone. It's just Garcian. Luckily, we can skip through that cutscene, so it's just getting through these literal 2 rooms, and that is it. But man, like, they do not throw you a bone here. They're just like, get through this, pleb. And also, for once, this TV being kind of darker is definitely not helping.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's go at this again. I was pretty worried about this because my failure rate on this is pretty high. 3 years later. I was about to say, watch, you just can't skip that one cutscene because they're like, no.
Well, to be fair, it's extremely short.
Dude, it was like right there and I still didn't hit it.
Yeah, I think you missed it by like... You just ran.
Yes. Ah! Alright, well, 2 still at least 1 better than last time, so... Yeah, I'm not sure if I just want to... So next time, if I have to do this again, I just run straight for a while, just really quickly kill that one, and I might only get hit once. But yeah. There's like no blood, no vials, no nothing. You can check your pigeons. But you got nothing else, so pretty brutal. Just in case. Alright, so we definitely have I want to say 2 hits left. I'm just wondering if I should just try to blow through it and just hope that they're not in my way. I also think it's pretty random and they like just keep coming too. I see you.
Yeah, the problem is that Garcian is so tall that it's like the perspective is so weird. Yeah, just do It worked.
Oh my god.
Is it over?
Sweet. Yep, I don't think I have anything else I have to do. Awesome. Sweet. Although there are 2 endings, so I might have to do it again. Hey, remember this place?
Do you finally get to go through the middle door?
Finally. The whole game. You probably go through that 12 times. Walk, 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 walk. Must be a pretty heavy case, considering it has to have literally Master Smith's huge, like, double freaking grenade launchers in it.
Yep.
Alright. Peaceful.
Like eerie.
Oh, hey, it's this guy.
You boys are almost done. You don't need to go around killing everybody anymore. The last of the Heaven Smiles is in the back. The big boss. If you do him, then it means you've eradicated all of them. No more terrorism. Hail to the free world. But I wonder, what'll become of you guys if terrorism is the law of nature? You know, you should kill me now, because you don't want us hanging around, know what I mean? If I'm alive, I'll give you a run for your money. Even an assassin like yourself. Better be prepared, because blood must atone for blood. So, which will you choose? Your own country? Or watch our retribution? Your fucking decision.
Alright, Trav, you choose the first one.
What? Kill him? Weird.
Kill him?
Yeah.
We're gonna do both, so.
I don't know, that guy's a huge jerk. Why would I want him to succeed?
Well, there is a byproduct of something that happens there, so.
F.
It's my favorite television.
Wow, I'm surprised that the blood room's still there.
Like, it still shows, yeah. RIP TV. Wait, actually, can we? I don't think we can, but I'm just curious. Hello, Mr. Smith. Oh. Alright, let's head up to that basement. We were in the forbidden room, and now we're going to the basement. You see that too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's on purpose then. Got it.
Is that a... Oh god, why can't I think of his name? Wazaru. Is that his name? Oh, wait. It's not him?
It's the last of the Heaven Smiles.
Oh, weird.
Also, it's Fulan, the guy who was always with Armin.
I understand everything.
Yeah. So, we killed him. Which essentially means that Japan is effed. I think I have this right. Yeah. So, because that guy who was like a... I forget the guy's name, but he was like a big guy in the Japanese politics. So Japan is literally, because we killed that guy, Japan is literally destroyed.
Rest in peace, Japan.
And Okay. So, we're gonna go back and do the other one, but not bad music. Can you turn it down just for 1 second? So one of the big things that I don't know if they explain in the other ending, but I'm gonna go over it right now since we have a second. So Harmon was a principal of the of that school, and he was the principal when Garcian / Amir was there, which is why he kind of like realized what Amir had going for him as like a trained assassin kind of thing. It's also pretty important to note that there are multiple versions of Harmon. Just like there's multiple personalities in terms of Harmon, like brought in all these people, there's multiple personalities of Harmon. There's young Harmon, there is old, messed up Harmon, the one that generally deals with Samantha, and there is, like, in charge Harmon. And they all are, like, this game treats them all as different people. Not even different just, like, personalities, but different people. Right, okay, so they do this then. Got it. And that'll go into my next part while I load up the next thing. So Shanghai 100 years later.
Change. All it does is turn. Now, let's dance.
The cycle begins anew.
Okay, so there's a lot. There's a lot of symbolism to go in there, and we're just the. God dang it, Suda. Question mark? What does that remind me of? Some show did that. So yeah, there's a lot of symbolism to go in throughout Harmon and Kun Lan, the other guy. Essentially, obviously, since it's 100 years later and Harmon is still alive, the way that they go about it is that they're like two essentially deities. The reason, just in case, I'm gonna do that because I do want to see. I forget if I can go just straight into it. Well, let's load that one and see what happens. So essentially, that hand, the reason that hand is always, oh yeah, now it's Killer 8, which is a harder version of Killer 7. No thank you. So yeah, you can start the game. It's essentially the same game, it's just like harder. And once you beat Killer 8, you unlock a mode where, I think Killer 8, if I have it correctly, you don't ever see the weak points on the enemies, which sounds fun. And then Killer 9, which is like the next one after that, and that's an actual thing. I think it's called Killer 9 or Killer 8 point whatever, is all the enemies are invisible, which sounds just impossible.
Yeah, just imagine those last two rooms. I mean, I guess you had Kevin to phase through everything. It wasn't a...
So... Harmon, no, I'm sorry, let's go to the hand thing. It's called the Hand of God, which is essentially the thing that allows Kun Lan to create the Heaven Smile. And he was the last Heaven Smile in that, like, and I'm not sure about the whole Wazuru thing. I don't quite understand that. Like, maybe he was there just helping you the whole time, just because they like to kind of play with each other, Harmon and Kun Lan. But, essentially, he was the last Heaven Smile because he was the one that was creating all of them. There's no, like, you know, it's, in this game, there's no black and white. Because, like, you could look at, like, oh, Harmon's, like, the god, and Kun Lan's, like, the Satan. But, like, they're both kind of, like, bad, and both kind of good in their own ways, too. So they're essentially always dueling they're just always like dueling each other, trying to like it's like the balance of good versus evil, you know, kind of thing. There was really heavily symbolism whenever they're playing chess, you know, and like that's what they're doing throughout the whole game is they're just.
You know what game? The ending of this reminds me of a lot now.
Go. Okay.
Friggin' oh god, what's it called?
Nier?
No. What's that game that Nick LP'd? That's the funny bad game. Oh god, why can't I think of it?
Yeah, what's it? Oh, but Nick has.
But anyway, the ending
Limbo of the Lost.
Limbo of the Lost. Literally, the ending is Destiny versus Fate or whatever, like the two gods.
Yeah,
it's like the same thing.
Yeah, so essentially that is
except way worse, obviously.
And obviously Harmon is like the main person for everything here. And I don't quite understand the scene where Harmon and Kun-Lan got shot. I think it was just a way. It was symbolism for Garcian to be like, I'm my own person. I don't need you. It's like, I'm my own person. I don't need you. Even though they didn't physically die, that was his way for being like, I don't need you. Good. Cool. So we did that. So we're gonna let him live this time and see what happens, and that'll draw too close. So I hope I explained. I mean, Trevor, did I explain everything? I mean, decently. I don't quite understand everything, but
yeah. And when you look at it, I mean, there's a lot of like political sort of like fluff to the story, but I feel as if like the core concepts, other than some vague things that I think Suda made vague on purpose, is a fairly simplistic story.
Yeah, essentially just. The higher powers that be kind of messing with you, which it reminds me of the one story in the, I think it's Abraham in the Bible, which I was always like, wow, what a story. I think it's in the Old Testament. Essentially, it's like, I think God and Satan are talking, or God and someone else is talking, and Satan's like, I bet you can't mess with Abraham, and he'll still praise you. And God's like, oh yeah? Bet? You know, essentially.
Yeah, I know
so, yeah. So, just for the viewers out there, so it's like, you know, God is like, all right, well, I'm going to make all of his livestock die. And Abraham's still like, praise God. And then he's like, all right, I'm just going to kill all of his family. Like his sons, his wife, everything. And he's still like, praise God. And I'm going to make his life a living hell in that, like, he is like constantly in pain. And Abraham's still like, praise God. And, like, I guess the whole, you know, point is, like, you know, you should always be, you know, praising and all that. But, like, if you look at it from, like, an outside perspective, you might be like, wow, that's terrible. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I get it to an extent of being like, okay, you want, you know, them to, like, follow you, but just be like, I could definitely, like, bring this guy's family back if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to kill everyone he knows and make his life terrible, and he'll still praise me, and then that's the end. That's the end of the story. And I apologize if I got anything of that wrong, but, like, I think I have the general gist, and I think that's, like, a lot of, like, what they're going with this, where it's, like, Harmon and Kun-Lan are, like, just playing chess, just being, it's almost like they're, like, passing the time or just doing it for fun. Like, you would assume that, like, god-tier beings would be like, I'm going to mess with all these humans just for fun, you know? But yeah, like I said, Harmon was the principal there when Amir was there. Whether it was 50 years ago or recently, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, they're pretty much omnipotent. So, like, this time, we're going to let him live.
A series that's all about God versus chaos, and neither of them are really in the right or in the wrong. That's all of Shin Megami Tensei, like the mainline games. Not so much the Persona games because those are babies.
It sounds like a very Japanese kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine you have the devil and the angel on your shoulder, but it's not black and white where the devil's bad and the angel's good. Like, they're both kind of like not. They're both just exist, and you're like,
yeah. Shin Megami does it that, like, they do it like law versus chaos, and if you do law, like, usually the gods enslave
Your own country,
humanity or like control their
watch our
minds
retribution.
to force a
Fucking
peace,
decision.
which obviously isn't like a really good ending. And then Chaos is just like, kill everything, just let everything do whatever.
Alright, let's let him live and see what happens. Does that mean, like, go ahead or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so let's just finish this off real quick, and... I also don't quite understand the symbolism of Harmon being, like, naked and unconscious there. But...
Maybe it goes to show that Garcia is...
like apart from him,
Yeah,
like he became his own thing.
You can see it in two ways. It's either that Garcia is moving on with his life, or that Harmon doesn't need Garcia anymore and he's going to move on to the next vessel.
There's also really heavy symbolism in the fact that he wears white the whole time, but now he's wearing black. And I'm not sure if it's just as obvious as it should, as like, you'd be like, black bad, white good, but now, like, you know, now he's in black and his eyes are green and he doesn't say a single word this whole time. Whereas, like, I don't know, what does that mean? And I don't think I really have an answer for that one. So let's see, yeah, let's see how this is a little bit different. But yeah, clearly, like, 100 years later in Shanghai, they get bored again, and whether they bring back Garcian and the Smiths doesn't really matter in all things. It's just that they, like, started up again. So already this ending is longer. Whether it's better, it's definitely more involved. Because the other one was like 5 seconds long.
It seems like the endings are either an entire nation gets genocided or World War III happens, so...
UN allied forces launch a full-scale attack on the United States. Yeah, so...
Like, both endings are terrible.
Yeah, essentially it's either like... I guess the way you look at it is if you kill that guy, then Japan's just gone. And if you don't kill that guy, then there's a full-scale attack on the U.S., and it's like... It doesn't specifically say the U.S. is like... It doesn't specifically say the U.S. is destroyed, but you assume that there's an equal amount of lives lost there, and then maybe eventually one of them's screwed anyway, so... I'm sure that giving you those two options where not one is good and not one is bad is another way of just being like, nothing changes, it's still a cycle, people still get into war and all that, so... In conclusion, I am very happy that I replayed this game, and unlike previous games in LPs where maybe I played them again and I was like, oh, well, it was good, but whatever, I still think this is one of my top 10 games. Not perfect, any means. I think the only game that would be considered perfect in my top 10 would be Super Mario RPG. Everything else has, like, pretty major flaws, but it's definitely worth a playthrough. It's definitely something to get you talking. On GameFAQs, there is a plot analysis that is hundreds of kilobytes long. If you're interested in reading more about it, and like obviously it's one person's opinion on it, so it's not necessarily right or wrong or anything like that. But it is hundreds of kilobytes of text that you can read on this. So yeah, awesome game. Sad to see that. We won't be doing this again. I'm not doing Killer 8. I'm very not interested. But hope you all enjoyed. And, yeah, I guess don't really have any reason to see this again. See you guys next time. Bada, Buddha, Buddha. See ya.